Hey gang, what's going on? Hope everybody's having a good day out there today. Much appreciated you guys taking a little time out of your day to watch the video. It's always appreciated. And today I'm going to give you guys some secrets, some really good juice on how to modify your swim baits to catch more bass in the pre-spawn. I'm talking specifically about the swim baits like the ribbed ones like the Kitex or the Zoom Z Swim. A little bit more finessier swim bait. But there's a few things that you can do to it that I never ever fish them unless I do this modification. It definitely will add up to some more fish. I think it'll probably help you catch 25% more fish on a swim bait if you use these modifications. Just out here trying to get the tip done. I've been working on those fish the moment lake map breakdowns all day. And man, if you guys haven't had a chance, go by and check out fishthemoment.com. We got all of our lake map breakdowns on there that I've been talking about. There's a bunch of other cool stuff on the site. Check it over there, and you can also order your breakdowns or request a personal breakdown. That's much appreciated. Okay guys, let's get into these swim baits here a little bit. I love fishing swim baits. I really do. The swim baits, to me, there's a window of time in the pre-spawn that they're really, really good to catch numbers of fish. I don't really consider them like a big fish bait, but you can catch quality fish on them. But once that water temperature starts getting right around that 50-degree mark, low 50s, which it is right now in a lot of part of the country, these swim baits by far are some of the best things you can throw if you have a lake that has visibility of like over 2.5 feet on it. So anyway, I'm going to show you guys the modifications that I do on it. Here's just the straight Zoom Z Swim, like the Kitec, and this is probably the most popular model. And most people just take it and they just, just put a jig head on it and just rig it up. In fact, I'll just show you real quick here. They just rig a jig head on it, and call it good like that. And yeah, don't get me wrong, you can catch fish on it like that. But I'm gonna show you guys what I do to modify it to be different. First of all, the first thing I do with all my soft plastics, especially swim baits, is you need to rough them up. And by roughing them up, it not only softens the plastic up to allow you to get a better hookup, but it actually changes the color a little bit. It changes the color from the factory look into something that looks like it's been chewed up or injured a little bit more. So guys, always rough your swim baits up, especially on there. Some of them have more salt than others. Just spend some time going over them gently, roughing them up. The next thing I do is usually a pair of scissors. I've lost my scissors, but I take a pair of scissors usually. I got some nippers, and I'm going to come along the side of the bait, and I'm going to just basically cut some grooves like that, or with this pair of scissors, and I'm just gonna cut the plastic like that. And what this does, it further takes away the solidity of the bait as far as your ability to hook the fish. And when you cut ridges in them like that, what this does, when the fish hits it, it doesn't have that solid mass of plastic to have to get in the way of the hook, so it sort of collapses a little bit more. And on top of that, when you cut those ribs, it gives the bait a little bit more action. So that's the next thing we do. So then I'm going to put my hook in. Still not finished. We got several more things. Like what we talked about a lot before, guys, when you put your hook in, you have got to take the time to get it perfect. You got to get this thing super perfect where it lays just perfectly flat, perfectly in the middle like that. See how perfect that is in the middle? If you have it to one side, it's going to roll over a little bit. So make sure it's perfectly centered. Next thing I'm going to do, guys, this is one of the key elements right here, is take a chartreuse magic pen, and you want to draw a rib. You want to draw right down the middle of the bait here with some chartreuse. And what this does, it's just a highlight. It's sort of like a focal point. It gives the fish something to zero in a little bit. I'm going to do it on both sides of the bait. You got just a little like that, and then the most important part is on the tail. You want to put just a little puff. You don't want to put much, just a little bit of puff of chartreuse like that on there. It gives them a focal point. So here's the look that you have, and I'm going to show you what it looks like as far as stock versus the way I've got it rigged. See here, look at this one, how juicy of a tidbit this thing looks, like that. And then you have the stock that most people use right next to it. On there, you can just see the difference a little bit. Notice the coloration different from roughing it up. You know, you got the chartreuse on it on the tail, acts as like an accent from it. And I can promise you guys, this will increase the number of strikes that you get, probably 25% of it. This chartreuse against the translucent side of the swim bait really makes this thing pop, it makes it pop out when you're fishing in the water, you know, especially if you have water visibilities between 2 to 5 feet. So anyway, guys, that's the quick tip today. That's how I modify. I do not fish a swim bait unless I do this. I always put a little chartreuse on it. The amount of chartreuse I put on it, guys, it depends on the water clarity. If I'm fishing super clear water, like over 6 foot visibility, a lot of times I won't put any on the tail, and I'll just put just a little bit on the sides, but I want a little bit of chartreuse dye on those swim baits there. You just get more bites. I think the fish can see it maybe from a little bit farther away, but not only these modifications will help you hook more fish once the fish bites it, you know, by roughing it up and cutting it, but the added strike attractors on there will get you more bites. So give it a try, guys. Now's the time to do it, man. If you guys have been fishing Alabama rigs, jerk baits, it's time to make that transition to the swim baits. This is a great time of year to fish it, and I know it's going to add up to a lot more fish for you guys. So thanks for tuning in, much appreciated, and we'll talk later.